So Donald Trump just posted on his own Truth Social platform a video of military historian Victor Davis Hanson about what he believes the endgame in Iran is going to look like. And the fact that Trump himself is posting this, we must conclude, means that this sort of is what's going through Trump's mind right now. Let's have a watch of what Trump posted Victor as saying, because I think it could be a really fascinating insight into Trump's mindset right now. Have a watch, and just a reminder, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button below the video, like, comment, and hype. It really, really helps us to keep delivering these videos for you.
Iran put their head right into a noose. They said, we're going to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and only us can determine who gets in and who gets out, and they have to be pro-Iranian. And we're not going to let Gulf states sell oil. Ha, ha, ha. And everybody said, oh, that was brilliant. The left went crazy. He was delighted. Oh, my gosh. The Pentagon was caught unprepared. The Pentagon had been preparing that for 50 years. Under Reagan, they opened it. They know how to do it. So all that Trump said is, that's a good idea. Shut down the strait and let in the good guys and stop the bad guys. But your bad guys are our good guys, and your good guys are our bad guys. So we're going to take a page out of your book, and we're not going to let in anybody anywhere near Iran. And we're going to let in everybody else. And the difference between the strategies is not just that we flipped it, but you have no wherewithal. PT boats and a bunch of mines won't stop us. But we have a huge fleet, and that will stop you from stopping us. And if you decide that you want to send the remnants of your missiles into the Gulf or Israel or at our fleet, go ahead, because we haven't even decided to hit dual-use targets yet. We're not like Barack Obama in Libya and taking out television stations and ports. We're not like Bill Clinton in Serbia that destroyed every bridge on the Danube and took out their grid of 1.5 million people. We're not Harry Truman that destroyed all the hydroelectric plants in North Korea. We let you off easy. Well, it doesn't mean there's not an American tradition of hitting dual-use targets. So we're going to hit your electrical and put you in darkness. And we're going to hit Cargigan or take it. We'll either take the oil and rob it from you or take it. And what was the result of all that in the last 48 hours? Ships are coming in that we let, and ships are not coming in that we don't let. And people, economists at the major research universities in Europe, the United States, have now flipped on a dime, and they're actually looking in empirical fashion at last at what this means. And the ranges are absolutely stunning. $400 million and more per day lost economically to Iran, whether that's lack of oil sales or petrochemical sales or lack of key imported mechanical goods, electrical goods that keep their infrastructure running, or food. They're in dire straits. They're losing all of their income from the Strait of Hormuz, and they're losing all of their income from the petrochemical and oil. And they were broke to begin with, and they can't do anything about it because Trump did it sequentially. Military first, chance of negotiation second, put the boot on the neck third. So what is going to happen now? You're going to see two things, possibly three. They may decide they want to go down in a blaze of glory and empty their arsenal of remnant ballistic missiles and drones. If they do that, they will be in darkness, and they will have no oil for the next 10 years. So that we'll see if there's saner heads among them. Number two, they have a choice to agree to negotiations, and this time they're not going to have every click saying 15 here and 10 demands here. And no, they're just going to have 10. And if they don't abide by them, the United States can force them to abide by them. Or they can just simply give up. No demands, nothing. Just say, we're done. And they're going to have and what I meant by give up is the regime gives up. I don't know if it's going to be immediate, but the people take over. All of those are favorable results for us. And so to conclude, I don't think that it's a very wise thing every 24 hours to be glued to your computer or the television and whatever a pundit on the left or a Democratic senator says or disgruntled person on the right says, then take that as gospel and not look at the data, not look at the evidence that's out there to examine, both, as I said, empirically or historically. Because if you did do that, you could see there was very, very little chance of winning. There's only one last caveat. Iran is ruined militarily, and it's going to be ruined economically if it doesn't give in. And they're now going to negotiate on with a different attitude. If you believe that they will abide by a demand that we've given them, no nuclear material for 20 years, whatever it is, then you have to believe that they will never break their word. I don't think they've ever kept their word. And number two, that there will be a president someday like Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, Pete Buttigieg, Cory Booker, and people of that caliber and mindset would enforce every one of those negotiated demands. And I don't think they will ever tell the truth or honor any of their commitments. And I don't think that the next left-wing or Democratic president would ever force them to, which means we better get them to surrender unconditionally or face economic ruin, which will usher in a regime change. Thank you very much.
Wow. And just think that Trump himself posted that. So thank God he clearly understands the nature of this threat, the regime, and what needs to be done. It seems to me, at least, he does by posting that. Again, we can't know for certainty what it is that he'll ultimately do. But the understanding that nothing justifies continuing this regime and allowing it to continue in any form or any negotiated settlement there. Even if they say, well, we won't do our nukes or anything like that, precisely as Victor Davis Hanson says, you cannot believe a word they say because fundamentally the regime believes in destroying Israel, the West, and America. So it's a ridiculous premise to say, no, we're good. And I think Trump himself understands that he's a once-in-a-lifetime, once-in-a-century leader when it comes to America. Just hard to imagine that anyone else would really have the guts to get this done in the same way. And I think Trump understands that. And I have to give credit to him that I think he really is prepared to just do what he believes is needed here. It's certainly not necessarily in his short-term political interest to be doing this. He's got lots of, some opposition, even in his own base. I think a lot support him as well, though. And he's holding the line here. Let's just hope that he follows through on what Victor Davis Hanson says there, which is the only acceptable solution to this, the only acceptable outcome that actually leads to peace and long-term peace is unconditional surrender for this regime to be finished. I was just talking to Mike Pregent, a former ex-veteran US intelligence officer who said, you can watch we just posted that on YouTube just now on JTV, where he said that he thinks what the plan is to cripple the regime so much economically, militarily, that there's an internal organic insurgency that comes and arises. My view would be, if that comes, great. And even if not, you still have a duty. And the only strategic option is to bring the regime to its knees and to bring, its ability to function to its knees, even if there is no insurgency that happens, and maintain that status, just as that's what we did with the Nazis. We didn't necessarily have an insurgency in place in Germany. No, it was just occupied or controlled or whatever. The regime was destroyed. What comes in its place, that can be a separate question. But I think quickly and overwhelmingly ensuring that this regime is finished, if you see that they're not prepared to unconditionally surrender, has to be the only way. And so let's see. Mike Pregent predicted that there's going to be a resumption of strikes within 72 hours. Again, you can watch that. We just posted it on our YouTube channel. And I guess we'll see what happens in the coming hours and days. But I think it's definitely clear to me that if Trump is posting this kind of stuff, then his head is screwed on right on this matter. And he really is a once-in-a-generation type leader. The Islamic Republic of Iran. For over 4 decades, its leaders have stood defiantly their voices thundering through Tehran's streets, chanting death to Israel and waging a relentless war on the West. But what fuels this fierce, unyielding hatred? Is it politics? A grab for regional power? Or something even more profound? A theology that casts Israel and the West as cosmic enemies in a divine battle for the end of days. In this JTV Plus documentary, we embark on a journey to unravel the apocalyptic beliefs at the core of Iran's revolution. We'll uncover the sacred Shia doctrines that prophesy a world reborn through chaos, where a hidden redeemer, the Mahdi, will rise to vanquish evil, with Israel and America as the ultimate foes. We'll dive deep into the mystical visions of a global Islamic order, where martyrdom and jihad pave the path to divine victory. We'll explore how these ancient beliefs shape Iran's every move, from its fiery rhetoric to its deadly proxy wars. From the revolutionary sermons of Ayatollah Khomeini, who ignited a nation, to the shadow wars of spies, cyber attacks, and missiles that have pushed the region to the brink. We'll trace the arc of a regime bent on reshaping history, and we'll reveal the climactic moment when Israel struck back with Operation Rising Lion, a daring, high-stakes operation that shook the world and redefined the conflict. This is not just a story of a nation, but of a creed that seeks to rewrite the future, a conflict that threatens to engulf us all. Join us as we expose the hidden truths behind what Iran sees as its sacred mission, its unrelenting rage, and the battle for our world's destiny. To watch this JTV Plus documentary and access much more premium content, click on the link in the video description.